we have got two cows with stuff stuck in their feet. Welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. First up is this girl, and I'm not 100% sure what this is, but I do know for certain it doesn't belong here. In this first trim, there is a squeaky fan in the background. Just try to ignore that if you can. Now, when you see something like this with that perfect loop in it, you're thinking to yourself, I'll bet I can just pull this out with the hook of my knife. But that's probably not the best plan. So let's pull out the trusty channel locks and try to get this out of there. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not exactly sure what this thing is. It's obviously stainless steel, and it's got some twist in it, like maybe a spring of some sort, some type of spring steel. But like I said, I don't know what it is, but it was in there. And it's probably going to be in there quite deep, so we've got to figure out exactly how deep as we trim this down. If it got to the corium, there's going to be problems. Now, usually when you find a piece of metal in a cow's hoof, you're going to see some oxidation that radiates out from that little hole that you see there. In this case, that was stainless steel, so you don't have that. But you're still going to have that hole that you got to work all the way down to make sure that it doesn't get to the corium. So we're going to pare this away all the way down, and hopefully, if we're lucky, it didn't go all the way through. As I'm trimming this out, I'm dishing to the outside. That way, when we're done with this trim, there will be no area for material to get packed back up in there. And it looks like we got lucky. That spring or whatever that piece of steel was didn't get all the way through, but she still does need a hoof trim. So we're going to get this trimmed up, and then we're going to let her go. If you're wondering why these hooves are so dark, it's just because of her breed. She's probably got some Jersey or some brown Swiss mixed in. They have black hooves, so hence why they're black. Nothing wrong here, no bruising, nothing like that. It's just the natural color of her hooves. As we zoom in here, you can see as I've dished this out, and you can see exactly how close that was to going all the way through. But we got lucky. This foot can go down, and she is done. Next up, well, this cow is favoring this foot, and that's because she's got stuff packed right up in here. Well, you can probably tell just by the sound that my knife makes working through there what we're dealing with here. Yep, we got a whole bunch of rocks packed up in there, and it seems like one of them has caused a problem. When I'm dealing with rocks like this, I try to clean this area out as best I can with my knife first, just so I don't hit any of these rocks with the carbides on my cutting wheel. While it may seem like, damaging a knife is more problematic than damaging these carbides, it's not actually the case. I need nice, sharp carbides to make sure this cutting goes well when I'm trimming these hooves. If you don't, it just makes the overall trimming process take that much longer with every other cow after this that I trim. So I need nice, sharp carbides because the majority of what I'm doing when I trim is grinder work. I'm shaping feet, trimming feet, things like that. With my knives, I can just swap out a dull knife and have a nice, fresh, brand new sharp one in a matter of minutes. With switching out these carbides, not only do we have time involved, but cost of getting new carbides each time I wreck them. Here you can see what those rocks do when they get trapped inside a sole. You'll notice I've got that sole trimmed nice and flat all the way around that, and yet in this area those rocks have created a larger hole, worked their way down in there, removing hoof horn as they go. They keep doing that all the way through, well then obviously we have problems. So we've got some lameness here with this cow, so obviously these rocks are causing a problem. You can hear all our hungry little baby calves in the background. It's morning, it's feeding time, and they know it. And just like our kids, when they're hungry, they let you know. What I'm working on here is just working down all the way to the removing any separation, trying to get all the way down to the bottom of this crater, if you want to call it that, where these rocks have dug their way and excavated their way and abraded down in this sole. I'm trying to find the bottom, making sure, trying to look for where they may have punctured through. Like I said, she is showing lameness, so something's going on here. We just have to investigate it. I got to continue to follow any of these dark marks and see if they go to the corium. Now, generally, you'll hear me talk about don't chase marks and if there's no lameness. Well, in this case, there is lameness, so we do follow those marks and try to get to the bottom of them. So the natural question is, how far do you chase these marks down? How far do you go, right? Well, anytime you see a crack in that white line, you need to follow it all the way until it terminates, especially when you're dealing with a case of lameness like this, because ultimately it's probably going to work its way all the way to the corium, so you continue to follow it. As soon as it terminates, well, then you know it's not there anymore. So that's how far you go. If you get to the corium, obviously you know then that you can stop. If it doesn't, if that mark fades away, you then once again know that you can stop because there is no crack left to investigate. Your dog probably just barked, but no, that's not the UPS guy. That's this guy, loading the feed truck. It's the backup alarm you hear in my videos sometimes. As we zoom in, you can see that mark is fading away, but there is some darkness up underneath there. It's a little bit of bruising from those rocks. It doesn't look like anything is punctured through. You can go from the side here, you can see it's nice and clean in there now, but that bruising is likely what was causing that lameness because those rocks were pushing on it. It is soft, so that means I'm gonna put a block on that other claw, take the weight off of this one, and just let it heal. We'll let her out. We get this on here, and you can see it definitely improved the situation. She's walking much better now, and that's the key, getting that claw all balanced back up again and getting all of that debris removed from there so that she doesn't put weight on it anymore. Like I said, let her out, and she's doing better.